Hey, we're glad you're here. Now, I have a whole list of new folks. That's our purpose. Roy and Jean Slingo. Come on up here. Oh boy.
It's painless.
It's painless. But don't get excited. I'm not giving you a $100 bill, okay? And don't despair, is not running today. Hey, tell us where you all are from.
Edgewater, Florida.
And I'm with her.
And Edgewater.
For a couple weeks. So
And where do you live?
now, A2.
A2.
Two.
Right over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long were you in Edgewater?
20 years plus.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And was it just the two of you down there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What did you do to put food on the table, Roy? Remember, it was 80 to 1.
I was a biochem teacher. I also left education and went to make some money. So I started a business or two, and that kept me going.
That's good. Did you bring any of those chemicals with you?
I think so, but they're in boxes and I can't find them.
We have a big event about once a month. It's called Unpack Your Boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll all gather around and help you.
Oh,
And then what you don't want, we'll get rid of it for you.
okay, that's cool.
Are there family? Just the two of you?
Here, yeah, but with the reason we moved here is because our children, have their own children, live nearby in Jacksonville.
Oh, good. Well, we welcome you, Slingo. Y'all pronounce that.
What kind of work did she do?
I was a nurse. That was like
Don't tell
almost
them.
40 years ago. Don't ask me any questions.
Don't ask her any questions. That's what she said. Good. Hey, welcome. We're glad to have you all in our midst. Look forward to getting to know you. Mm-hmm. Good.
Is that painless?
Audrey, come on down. No, that's the wrong program. isn't it? Yes. You can have a list of the people that are new. Welcome to Westminster Woods. We're glad you're here. And first of all, tell us where you came from.
I came from Vermont.
Vermont. If you know where Vermont is, raise your hand. See, we got an educated crowd here. Yeah, yeah. And how long were you in Vermont?
Oh, I went to Vermont from New York City in 1971. So
And what did you do in Vermont?
I worked for the Vermont Department of Health as a public health nurse.
Good. Another nurse.
The Health Services Committee needs you all.
Yeah. Now, and you live where? Here?
E in the E building, yes, Elm.
Okay. Well, we're glad you're here. And I should let you all know that unfortunately she and her husband moved here, and shortly after they moved in, he passed away. So our sympathies to you, and you got a lot of folks out here that want to hug you and wish you the best, but we can do elbows, okay?
Thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you.
Welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you very much.
This. Now, is there anybody else here for the first time? Oh, we don't need to talk to Charlie Eichner, that's for sure. Well, Laura, I hope you have a lot to say because, okay. We do have other new members, and perhaps we will be able to get them here the next time. Before we have our distinguished speaker, we will have an announcement from a resident by the name of Bill Talley. You're on, Bill.
I guess it's going to turn on.
Push the on button.
Yeah, we may have a little feedback here.
Excuse me.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see you here this morning. I'm sorry?
Doing fine.
Good. I want to talk to you for just a minute about the Employee Christmas Fund. For those three new folks here, you know there is a Westminster policy that we are not to provide monetary gifts to individual employees. So once a year, all the residents get together and pool their resources through an employee Christmas fund, and at a party which I hope we'll be able to have with lots of revelry and food in December, we provide the employees with a check as a gift from us. The amount each employee gets is determined by a formula which was developed some years ago by the Christmas Fund Committee, and basically considers their service in a given year and their length of service, with lots of emphasis on length of service. Last year, the residents donated $106,000 to be divided among roughly 240 employees. It'll be a little bit less in terms of employees this year, and hopefully more in terms of gift. Because if you think about the situation we've been in this year, most of us don't like to think about it because it hasn't been all that pleasant. But the employees have really worked their hearts out for us. And as a result of our efforts and their efforts, we've had essentially no cases on this campus. By the front gate, there's a number of little signs sticking in the ground, and it was there for another purpose, but it says, "Heroes work here." And I think we have to say that the contribution, the love, the care that the employees have given to us this year has been literally heroic. And so I hope everybody will dig deep, and let's have a fantastic Christmas gift for the employees. Everybody will have received a letter. It's in here somewhere. Everybody will have received a letter. Looks like this. Don't worry, you'll get another one. It also has an envelope in it like this to send your check to the Christmas Fund, made out to the Westminster Woods on Julington Creek Employee Christmas Fund. Nobody knows who gives what except the treasurer. Of course, we know what's dispersed when it all comes in, but nobody knows who gives what except the treasurer. So I'd appreciate you considering all the things that the employees have done for us and give generously this year. Thank you very much.
Bill, one question. What was the total amount of gifts that we dispersed last year?
$106,000.
Okay.
Hopefully, my target this year is $150,000, because I think they have done such a tremendous job that we need to really show our appreciation for that. I will have failed if I don't get to that number. So I appreciate y'all's help. I can't do it by myself.
Okay, good. Thank you, Bill. Excuse me, before we have our speaker, we have another new member that has come into the room, I believe, Joan Cam, right there. And I'm going to disrupt the camera and go to her because I know for a fact that she's having hip surgery fairly soon, and there's no need to make you walk any more than you have to. Okay? Good. Now, tell us who you are.
I'm Joan Kim,
Well, that's good. I remembered your name right. And where do you live?
Southwood,
Southwood. Okay.
19B.
19B. Those of you who remember the Borngassers, that's the house that she is now in. It's now the Cam house and no longer the Borngasser house. Good. Tell us a little bit about your family.
I have 3 sons I've been blessed with, 9 grandchildren that I've been blessed with. My husband died 3 years ago, and we both felt very blessed with our family. One lives here in Fleming Island, one lives in DeLand, and one lives in Birmingham, Alabama. So we're good. We're good.
Now, did you work at all when you were growing up?
I was a housewife. That's work. But I did graduate from Michigan State University, got my master's from USF, and I've been a teacher or director of teachers for many years. And when I turned 65, I'm only 66 now. Ha ha ha. But I retired and moved up here to be near my children. So God is good.
Good. Thank you, Joan. We are glad you're here. And I had the privilege of meeting her first face-to-face because her mail was delivered to my mailbox. Now, you tell me how the post office department can read her address as 19C, like ABC, and it ended up coming to 190 Tulip Wood. That's where we live. But anyhow, I'm glad that's a good way for us to meet, and I'm glad that you're with us and glad you could be here this morning. Now, we need a drum roll. That's enough. That's enough. Let's not go overboard with this now. Our speaker today is someone that I suspect most of you have already met, especially you new people, but if you haven't, you're getting ready to. She is I got to read what she told me to say. She was born in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, and she's the youngest and prettiest of 3 kids. She said, "I was an accident." Oh, okay. 13 years younger than her brother. Laura Staten is the director of Wildlife Refuge. What is it called? Residential. Lifestyle facilitator. Laura's been on this campus for many years, was the associate in that position, and then when the head of that committee left, she was the natural to become the new director of that area of the church, of this facility here. She grew up in Louisville. She graduated from Bobby Knight University. It was hard for me to say that, and you wrote it down here. Graduated from Indiana University, and she has a degree from Indiana University School of Dentistry as a dental hygienist, where she worked for, did you tell me that? How many years were you a dental hygienist? 20-something years. I guess once you're a dental hygienist, you're always a dental hygienist. Is that right? Whether you're working at it or not. But that was her training and that was her profession until she came here and discovered that she could not function any longer without being amongst the people of Westminster Woods. Laura has been involved in most everything that goes on around this campus. She began as a volunteer. She became the Assistant Resident Lifestyle Facilitator, and since June of 2019, she has been the director of that division. She has, I was going to say she would bore you, but you never get bored when you listen about people's grandchildren. But she's got 3 of the cutest granddaughters, and 2 of them look exactly alike. She's learned the difference between who is who, but her daughter and 3 children live here in the community, reasonably close, and so she's a happy camper, and we're delighted to have Laura Staton, Stayton. It's all you, Laura.
Good morning, everybody. That was quite an introduction. My twins are not identical. We could tell them apart instantly. But it is fun having twins. Excuse me. The Resident Lifestyle Department used to be called Resident Services. And it changed because I think this position's title changed. It used to be Director of Resident Services, and it got changed to Resident Lifestyle Facilitator. And then our committee used to be the Resident Services Committee, and now it's the Resident Lifestyle Committee. It's crazy. But anyway, it's kind of like a cruise director. Well, I want to make an introduction. I want to skip Margaret, come up here for just a second. I get to do this, right? Margaret has been with us for 2 weeks. She is our part-time tram driver. You'll see her on Monday and Tuesday evenings from 4 to 7, and again on Saturday mornings from 7:30 to 1, and Sunday morning from 7:30 to 1. And we're really happy you're here. Yes, thank you.
I have my teeth still approved. I don't know if you've seen my smile.
I don't, well, no, there's a lot of people who haven't seen smiles. Thank you, Margaret. I wanted to get you in case your phone rang or something. First of all, we have been in, those of you that are brand new have no idea the things that we did a year ago. It's amazing the change and what a year can make. In the past, we've taken our buses and we go to the symphonies, we go to the theaters. Our department manages your subscriptions. You do your own subscriptions, but we have a group sales manager at every one of those places that we're in contact with. And they go over and beyond making sure that your subscriptions and your tickets and everything are right on. However, not now. I assume the symphony, has anyone been driving to the symphony? Okay. And they're probably doing every other row or, okay, that's what I thought. I knew that had happened. But Westminster Communities has not said that we can take anybody on a bus. So you are more than welcome to go to the symphony if you have your own transportation. And I hate saying that, but that's the way it is right now. Also in the past, we have socials, we have parties. We missed, this year was the first year since I've been here that we haven't had a big derby bash. That drew in like 100 people. 4th of July was huge. This year it was too, just a little bit different. We have big golf cart parades for the 4th of July. We are getting ready to miss another great big fun Halloween party that usually brings in lots. But we encourage you to get on your costumes and participate, and you can walk around your neighborhood looking silly if you want to. We are, the last week of the month, going to have a masquerade event. It's not a real planned event, but you take your mask, you can decorate it, and then you can get those eyepieces that a masquerade usually has, and wear that throughout the week, and just for fun, just to be festive. What I learned last week was, I mean, I'm as depressed as you guys are as far as not being able to go and do. I cleaned my house, And when I did, I thought, you know what, I'm going to put up my fall wreath. So I put up my fall wreath. And then I thought, oh, there's that decoration I made. I'm going to get that out. So I added some few touches just to my house, and it really helped. So do that. Go home, put up your Christmas stuff. But I mean, it really did. It really just helped you change your attitude a little bit, seeing that, you know, the season is changing. Maybe that's going to bring back a positive change somehow, and we hope anyway. But do whatever it takes to lift your spirits, even if it's putting a fall wreath on the door, because it does help. Let's say communications. Communications is something that our department is very big on right now. You can't imagine how far we've come technology-wise. We've got people that are Zooming this meeting right now. If there's too many people in this room, they're gathered down in the River Lounge and they're watching it on the TV. It's incredible. We have Pam to thank for that. She is our, I call her my tech nerd, and she really is, but in a good way. And we don't know what we do without her. And she just did a big survey recently, and part of that I think was published in the Chimes this last time. And also there's a, I think you have a document on My W Life, right? So our means of communication that we use is the Chimes, which is our monthly newsletter. And we have channel 266. Channel 266 on your TV has daily activities, daily announcements, any changes that may not happen, like something might be in this newsletter that's going to go on tomorrow and it got canceled. So you'll see that it's canceled if you check your TV. For those of you that are a step more than that, we have an app, and it's called My W Life, and that app can be on your desktop computer, it could be on your iPad, it could be on your tablet, and it's for sure on your phone. It is fabulous to use, because I'll be someplace making a dental appointment or a haircut appointment, and I look on my calendar on my phone. I can see our calendar, which is this. And I think, oh, no, I'm going to be working that night because there's an event, so I can't get my hair cut at 5 o'clock. So it is handy to have on there. Most of the time you can get on it by doing your first initial, last name, and then the last 4 digits of your social security number as the password. But if you're really new and you've lived here 2 days, it might take a couple of weeks for you to actually show up in the system, but we can boot you up on that. So if you want to not wait for the system to catch up, I can catch up the system. Like I said, the newsletter and the calendar does change. A lot of the times, if the calendar that you just received this month says virtual experience, if you turn the TV on that day, it's going to say what is going to be your virtual experience. You're going to have a movie or a concert or something like that, and usually we find those on YouTube, and then we put them on to channel 266 to start airing at 7 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you've already seen Jerry Joe's fitness classes on 266. So technology has just really soared. And you know what? It's not just Pam and it's not just Westminster. It's all of you. It's amazing how many people have signed up for the app and it's doing Zoom from their home. I mean, who ever thought? I didn't even know what Zoom was until COVID came around. So thank you for keeping up. Really appreciate that. Also, what we do is the bus transportation, I touched on a little bit. Not only do we take you to things that we've planned around town, but we also take you to the grocery, and we have brought that back. So that is very recent. Last week was the first week. We're allowed to have 3 people on our large bus. We open a back window and a front window for ventilation and have the air on that's non-circulating. And then we go to Publix on Tuesdays and Walmart on Thursdays. And that worked out really well this past week. But what we do, I think we had 6 people that went Thursday. So Tim takes 3 over, drops them off, comes back, picks up the other 3 because we can't have more than 3 on the bus. The med van has been running. It's been running for a good month, maybe more, probably 2 months, I think. And started out, we could only take 1 resident at a time. That made a lot of trips for the med van driver, but it was all doable. We managed. And then when we realized that the next person that he needed to take in line was going to the exact same place the other one went, we fought and finally got it to the point where we could have 2 people on the bus, especially if they're going to the same area. So that's worked out, and that's helped a lot too. There are med van forms, and I can get them to you. And there's also a direction on how to set up your appointments, because we go different places on different days. There's a day we go to Orange Park, but if you want to go to Orange Park on the day we're not going, you're going to have to change your appointment, because that is quite a big trip to make. If you're supposed to be downtown all day, and then somebody throws in an Orange Park trip, we have to keep it on schedule. But I think that's been going well. Joe, you said that you've been going a lot since we cut back. And we started off with it just being essential appointments. And now, after 7 months, we're realizing that some of the other appointments that you had to put off are starting to become essential. So we're adding on more appointments than the life-changing appointments. You know what's really bad about having cataract surgery? You can't read. Let's see. Hey, I'm ready for questions, I think.
Okay,
Unless
does anybody have any questions? And if you do, you need to come to this microphone over here, because this whole program is being recorded and all the major networks are going to pick it up, and we want your picture spread all over. So if you have a question for Laura.
I want to add, all the new people here, when he was talking about food, referencing food, for this event, there was always like a brunch almost. It was a full table of all kinds of goodies and coffee. So it would start at 9:30, and you got to eat and socialize from 9:30 to 10. And now we've come to this. So if you brought your jug of water, that's your refreshment for today.
Good. Are there questions? Come.
Good morning, Laura. I really don't have a question. I just want to emphasize what a wonderful job you have been doing during this COVID outbreak. When I filled out my request for what we wanted to do this month, I put on the bottom, boy, I'm glad we don't have anything to do at Westminster Woods, because my list was so long. Even in COVID, you have kept us busy. We can't do some of the stuff that we used to do, but you have kept us so busy that it's just been wonderful. Thank you very much, Laura.
Well, thank you, Wayne. That's good to hear. I appreciate that. It's not the same, that's for sure, but at least it's something to look forward to a little bit.
Are there other questions? Laura, I just want to pick up on one thing. I think, I didn't hear it, maybe you said it, that the Chimes, the monthly newsletter, is going out online. For those of you who want a printed copy, you need to let Laura's office know, and you'll get a printed copy. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Our goal was to go green, and this is the Resident Lifestyle Department's answer to it, was to try to do that. So we used our email list and shot out blind copies of the Chimes to everybody that had an email. Those people that had email still wanted a hard copy. So, and that's fine, I get it. I know there's a lot of people that like to drink their coffee and highlight things in their Chimes, and that's just something that we have to say, sure, of course. On the other hand, I've had people say, I can't read it on the computer, it's too little. There is an easy way down at the bottom of your screen where you click the plus button, and it shoots out that font. It's real big. You can read it on your computer, but it's okay. We don't mind sending you the hard copies.
Good. Are there other questions for Laura?
We have time.
Thank you. Thank you for being here and for telling us about the work that you're involved in. And I can tell you, she didn't give you the whole load. This lady does more than anybody on this campus. She's busy. She's involved in a lot of things. She puts in a lot of time. And we thank you for your work and what you've done
Oh, I appreciate that.
and what you're
Thank
going to
you.
continue to do.
A lot of times, most of you lately have probably seen me out on a tram until we got Margaret hired. I was running the tram every weekend, and that was fun. I enjoyed it. It was great because I got to see so many people doing that. Oh, and something else that I didn't bring up. The country store is open on Tuesdays and Fridays, and I had that store I was running for the first, Pam's 2 months. And so I would go in there and sit, and I was a store owner. That was really fun, and I really got to know a lot of those regular shoppers, and that was great. And now the resident volunteers are back to run the country store. They're open the same hours, and I don't know if that'll change anytime, but we're on the road, and the boutique is opening. Good grief.
Good.
It's all good.
Good. Thank you, Laura. We appreciate it very much. We do have one other thing or information to share with you. One of the things that I guess it might even come through lifestyle facilitating, we have a very active and important part that all of us can play in terms of recycling. And today we're going to hear a little bit from Susan Letizia and a host of other people who are going to share with us a little bit about how we can be more effective in our recycling on the campus. So, Susan?
And one, Mike.
Mike? I didn't know. This is your buzzer.
Okay.
Did you wipe it down? Hi. Is this thing on? Did you turn it off? Hi.
Now it's on.
Now it's on. My name is Michael. Some people call me Alex Trippa. I want to welcome you to this morning's edition of What Do You Know? A game show to entertain you while you sharpen your recycling skills. Now say hello to our contestants. We have Mr. Bill.
Hello.
And we have Miss Know-It-All. Please give them a round of applause. Now remember, the way we play this game, Mr. Bill and Miss All, is that you select a value. I will give you the answer, and you have to come up with the correct question. Are you ready to play?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Miss All, ladies go first. Where would you like to start?
Let's start with 30.
And the answer is Tuesday. Hit the
Hit the
bell.
button.
There you go. That's good. That's as much as you're going to get. The answer is Tuesday. Mr. Bill.
What is the day that Brian Tenney will take his weekly shower?
Well, that is not correct, Mr. Bill. Ms. All.
What day is recycling collected by maintenance staff?
That is correct. Now, where to now?
Let's try 40.
And the answer is flattened.
I got this one.
You're very fast on that buzzer.
I believe the question is, what happened to Rocky Balboa's opponent?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, that is not correct. Miss All.
How are cardboard boxes and paper containers prepared for recycling?
Once again, you are right. Where to now?
How about 70? I'm sure it must be the most difficult.
The answer is glass and plastic bags.
Well, I definitely know the answer to the glass part. It's what do you put your evening cocktail in? However, I'm not sure about plastic bags. I think you breathe into that and wipe when you're hyperventilating or something.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bill. We need a complete question. Miss Know-it-all.
What should never be put in the recycle bin?
Correct again. This is so much fun, I feel like we ought to be breaking for a commercial. But we're running a little short on time. Where to now?
Let's go to 60.
The answer is empty, clean, and dry. Yes, Mr. Bill.
I'm at a loss here because none of these answers fit me. Look at me, I'm certainly not empty. You'll have to take my word on the clean and dry. I did take a shower this week. Today, as a matter of fact. Are you kidding me?
What about what? Being dry? No, that would be a joke.
Okay. The answer is, what is the way to prepare items for recycling?
Very good. Not much left now. Where to?
Give me 10. That ought to be easy.
And the answer is Publix and Walmart. Yes, Bill.
I've got it. Where do you go to buy more stuff to be recycled?
A good answer, but once again, you are not quite on target. Miss Hall.
Where can I take my clean, dry styrofoam and plastic bags for recycling?
Excellent. Only 2 categories remain.
Let's have 20.
The answer is 1, 2, and 3.
That's obvious. The question is, do not despair.
That was 1.
Oh. Let's see. What are the winners? I just gave you the winners of the horse race. Do not despair. It's only one winner.
Winners, depends on.
It's only one winner.
Well,
this is a little tough, but I think the question is, what are the code numbers found in the recycling triangle on plastic containers that can be recycled here?
very good. And now, for the last category, the answer is appendix.
I got it. What organ is removed if you have a headache? I mean, bellyache.
Wrong again. Ms. Hall.
I believe the correct question is, where in the residence handbook can you find specific information on recycling at Westminster Woods on Julington Creek?
Wonderful job. I want to thank you for playing What Do You Know? Mr. Bill, I hope you will come back and play with us again.
You can count on it.
And Miss Know-It-All, you certainly lived up to your name because you definitely know it all. Now, recycling at Westminster Woods on Julington Creek is not a game. So if you have questions or concerns, speak to Susan Letizia, or as she is known as Miss Know-It-All, or you may speak with me. There is a handout of the noted appendix that has most of the pertinent information. Please pick one up on your way out this morning. Thank you very much.
Mike, why don't you ask for questions now if we have a minute? Do we have a minute?
I got it.
Okay.
Questions. If you have a question, go to the microphone. And I will tempt you with one. What about bottle caps?
Bottle caps always go in the trash.
So you don't recycle bottle caps?
Sir.
Why?
Because God doesn't want bottle caps in the trash.
I hope in your days to come you have a better understanding of God. Other questions? Styrofoam. I think that was partially answered in the last, which is what?
Take it to Publix or Walmart. Clean and dry.
Yeah, they actually have a way. I checked with the manager at Publix, and they have a facility that they take the styrofoam, but they don't want any grease or even any food on it. So I'm likely to, if I get a container from a restaurant, throw out the greasy one and take off the top and put that in the bag to go to be recycled. So they don't want grease or any food in the styrofoam or any coffee. So it's got to be rinsed, clean, and dry.
Okay, other questions? Very good. Thank you from the CINC meeting to the Recycle Committee.
It's actually the Environmental Committee at Westminster Woods on Julington Creek. Thanks.
The Environmental Committee. Okay, good. Thank you very much. There is one other thing I need to bring to your attention, and that is we will be doing CINC again in November. It will be on Saturday the 14th, the second Saturday of the month. So we hope you will plan to be here then, and we will invite other new residents that haven't already been introduced, and any that might move onto our campus by November the 14th. Again, we're glad you're here. We welcome you. And now there's a full buffet at the end of the table down there. Go have something to eat. Glad you're here, and thank you for coming.